Feel today?
Feel okay. I wish I woke up earlier.
Yeah, man, we did wake up late, but
Yeah.
yeah, our sleeping schedule is all messed up still.
Yeah. I still have like three things to do on my list,
Yeah.
but I will get to it. I did
What?
the most important ones.
What for today?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like you got a lot done today.
Yeah. It's just going to the gym takes a lot of time.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna try to go later today though. After I finished up some stuff too, I got stuff on my agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also got to finish when they see us, man. We have to review that.
Yeah. We at least I think we have to finish like two more episodes, and
Yeah,
then
that's
we
not
have
bad.
one more episode
Yeah,
tomorrow.
that's not bad. That's like one movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we're on episode two. Like, if I remember right, we watched an episode and a half, right?
Yeah, like the first 15 minutes I think we watched, so that's like 40 minutes left.
Yeah, yeah, we can knock it out. I don't know. Because you've seen it before me. I haven't seen it, so I could just finish it. I know I could stay up all night and watch it.
Yeah. I mean, we already stay up until like 3, 4.
Yeah, that's not healthy. Guys, don't be like us.
Yep.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Well, welcome everybody to our live stream today. My name is Simon Hill, Black American from Louisiana, coming to you live from Budapest, Hungary. I'm here with my beautiful wife. Say hi, Akdi.
Sorry. Hi, everyone. I'm Akdi and I'm from Turkey. And yeah, I'm here.
I hope you're okay because you've had this cough since we came back from Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like this dry cough. And I was talking to my mom, and my brother has the same thing. Like he's been coughing for a month. So I
Mm.
feel like maybe it's like this virus or something that just makes you cough.
And it only affects Turkish people?
Wow. No. No, one of my other like friends here, her friend got the same thing, like she's coughing and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had it. I've been generally okay.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't know. It's just the cough. Like nothing really is wrong with me other than that.
well, all right, all right. Well, either way, like I say at the beginning of like all the movie reviews we do, every live stream I do, I always say I'm coming from Budapest, Hungary. And if you know anything about Europe, Central Europe, handsome, melanated, sexy men like me don't come from this place. So recently we went back to where I came from, Louisiana, and that was Acti's first time traveling to the States. And we've been back for how long? Like two
But it's
weeks?
not it's not my first time traveling to the States. It's my first time traveling to the South.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think I said that. I hope I did. I say America or did I say
You said
Louisiana?
States.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. My bad. I made a mistake. But where did you travel to in the U.S. before?
So I went on this exchange program when I was 15, 16, and I went to the family lived in Salem in Oregon. So I
Mm,
went to Oregon and they took me to San Francisco, Santa Cruz, and I think there I arrived in Washington. I stayed there one day and I also saw Seattle. Then so they like took me around and I stayed a couple of days in all of those places, but mostly I spent the time in like Oregon and Portland.
that's how I know that you are high as hell out there and didn't learn nothing because you pronouncing it Oregon, not Oregon.
Oregon. Okay. Well, I don't know. I did get high one time, but it was very very scary, so then I didn't do it again for
Yeah,
like
that
the next 3 years.
the first time I ever smoked. Well, the first time I smoked good weed, it was from California in college, and man, I was so high I saw through my hand, and I was
Yeah.
tripping.
Yeah, like I don't know what the girl gave it to me, but it was like the first time I was actually smoking, trying weed, and then like it was probably something very strong, so I got like super high and I think I saw like I was walking and I saw like weirdest shit ever on a bridge that I was
Yeah,
walking on.
like all sorts of hallucinations, getting chased by dwarves and trolls
No.
and
Yeah, I think
Oregonians.
like there was a clown there.
Oh man, you were getting chased by it. You were
I
getting.
wasn't being chased. It was like it wasn't like stressful, but I just
Mm,
saw stuff that was not necessary.
yeah, man, them inner demons came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of the few good things about the U.S. is that we do have states with like legalized. cannabis. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think in Europe it's only what, Denmark? No, not Denmark. The Netherlands and maybe France. Maybe
Yeah,
France.
but it's like in general, it's fine. Like when I went to Belgium, everyone was smoking out on the street.
Yeah.
And in even in here, like you can probably smoke a joint in a park and then nothing will happen to you, but just like don't do it, in front of the police and stuff.
And every time we walk through the park near our house, all I smell is marijuana, man.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
time.
So it's not like that strict, like compared to Turkey at least.
Yeah. Well, in Turkey, that one time we found some kush on the street. You remember that?
Yeah, that was insane. That was like
What?
the best thing ever.
I don't know if I've even told this story on this channel, but after the election, when Erdogan was reelected and Akdi was all heartbroken, we went downtown to her city, Marmaris, and when we were walking back home, we just found a dime bag and we said, "Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah."
That was insane. That was
Yeah,
insane.
yeah. The kids don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. That's not what this live stream is about. We just all over the
Yeah.
place. Oh, please get better. Please get better.
I will.
All right. Anyway, so how long have we been back here since we came back?
I mean, we came back on the 28th, and today
Mm.
is the 8th. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
We came
Yeah.
back 28th of January, so it's been like, what, 10 days?
Okay, 10 days since we came back from the US after spending about 3 weeks there. 2 weeks.
Yeah, like 3 weeks, I think.
Three weeks. And so yeah, most of the time we spent there, it was in Monroe, Louisiana, but we also went to Dallas and New Orleans and stuff like that. And I think that's like a good cross section of like a certain type of area, right? That Texas, Louisiana lifestyle and like what the South is like. You know what I mean? Like you have New Orleans with its culture and history and like especially the music and stuff like that and the food. Then you have small town rural Monroe, and then you have sprawling Dallas, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a trip, and also that wasn't planned in our trip was spending time in London too. You know what I mean, for like a
Yeah.
day. So I don't know, where do you want to start? Like, should we start with our time in London and then go to Dallas? Like, where do you think we
Yeah,
should?
yeah. Let's start with like our flight and how we ended up staying like 2 nights in London.
Yeah,
Let's start
yeah.
there.
I mean, go ahead. You can tell the story because I'm still, you know,
Okay, well,
recovering from that.
yeah, so we basically had a flight, like a layover flight from London to Dallas. And when we got to London, we had 12 hours for until our next flight. And so we went to like a, nearby hotel that was like the cheapest option. And then when we were there, just waiting for the flight, like next morning, basically we got an email saying like our flight has been canceled. So we basically stayed there the first night near the airport. We didn't do anything. And then next day we go to the airport and like yeah, our flight got canceled again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait, real quick. Nathan Blackwood says, "Do you guys accept movie requests?" Absolutely. Put it in the chat. We'll try to get to it. Though, preferably, it would be good if you gave a request for like a Black historical movie because it's Black History Month. But anything you send is always appreciated. But
Yeah.
I, but wait, before you skip this, Acty,
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't think you would be able to like leave the airport and we would have to wait there overnight
Oh,
for our flight because you have a Turkish passport in the UK. It's like it became hella strict. Like I had to pay like 13 euros to enter this non EU member country now, and it was like a 12-hour layover, and they let you out. Like
yeah.
explain.
I mean, basically, yeah, now that they have a new law that, certain passports have to pay a fine to enter the UK, which was
Mhm.
like what Simon did. And when I said I had a Turkish citizenship, it didn't even accept me in the system because, I need to get a visa to actually be in England.
Mhm.
So when we arrived and we were like, okay, we can't wait in the hall for 12 hours.
Yeah.
So, and I can't like, get out because I'm a Turkish citizen. I need a visa. They basically told us that they would give like this 1 day temporary visa for, the people who have layovers and stuff like that.
Right.
And we went to the, the gate together. and the guy like asked weird questions. Like we told them that we were married and stuff,
Yeah.
and we explained the situation, and they gave me like 24-hour visa.
Hmm.
But when my flight got canceled, and we got another ticket the same day, but like a later time, and that got canceled again.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, we went down to the airport, and they told us that we couldn't get any compensation for it because there was a snowstorm in Dallas, and that all of the flights were canceled. But Mr. Simon here, he just walked up to the lady and said, "I need a hotel room."
Something like that. Something like that.
Yeah,
Real
and
quick. Wait, real quick though. Nathaniel Blackwood said he discovered the channel 2 hours ago, and he was listening to the Nosferatu review. So thank you for
oh
that. I appreciate that. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the reviews. And if you have any movies you want us to talk about, put it in the chat. But
yeah,
yeah, I was thinking like the UK seems to be like acting more strict about immigration, and like they don't want people like overstaying their visas, and they want to check everybody who comes in. But it was like hella easy for you to get that 24 hours to enter, and then there was like no checks after that, you know what I mean? Because technically you ended up staying more than 24 hours in the UK, and
yeah,
who knows what you could have done. Like you could have gone off,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
And I got a little anxiety about it because I
Yeah.
was like, when our flight was canceled, I was like, I have to stay now more than 24 hours. What the hell am I going to do? Do I have to like go in and then come back again? But they basically told me like it's fine because just show them that your flight got canceled and
Yeah.
you will be okay. But yeah, I could have just like basically run off and lived in somewhere in the UK.
Yeah, like crazy as hell. Like
But I
they,
would be illegal. Like I wouldn't be able to get a job or study or whatever, you know.
Now, a part of me feels like you were able to get in because we walked up together. I said I'm married. We're married, and I have a U.S. passport, and we're just staying at the hotel, so it looked legit, right? But I'm just thinking about other people that might try the same thing, and
Yeah.
they'll be able to get in. And real
Yeah.
quick, Nathaniel Blackwood says, "Are you from Georgia?" I'm from Louisiana, and she's from Turkey. But go ahead, Akdi.
Yeah. I mean, I think it depends on how you look as well and how you present yourself because even if I was alone, I might be able to get the same visa. But I feel like if I was like, a Turkish man with a bit of a darker skin, didn't know
Mm,
much English, had
mm.
broken English, and this happened to me, and I told them like, yeah, I'm flying to Dallas.
Yes, I
I
fly
am
Dallas.
flying
I
to
no, you
Dallas.
said I fly Dallas. I go Dallas. Zoom,
Yeah.
zoom, zoom.
Yeah, like it maybe they would have told me like just wait in the hall for
Yeah,
12 hours,
yeah. No,
so that might have not been the case. So it's very like, superficial.
yeah, I mean, it did seem like he was giving like his own personal decision to decide to let us in or not. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But I really hated that part about the UK system. Like how they made it so strict. They need to join the EU again, or just get the fuck on. Like go somewhere.
Yeah.
Like the UK is just tripping about that. Because and by the way, I can't imagine America doing that. Like if you have a layover for 48 hours in Atlanta or something, there's no 24-hour US visa. I cannot imagine something like that happening in the US,
I
especially in the
mean,
Trump
yeah,
era.
but like what else can you do at that point? Like you cannot ask everyone to sit at the airport because what if like we had a kid, you know?
I mean, there wasn't there like a Tom Hanks movie where this guy was trapped in the airport for like 10 years? Have you heard of that movie?
No.
Yeah, there's
What
this
type of movie is
famous,
that?
I forgot the name. We should probably review it. But there's this Tom Hanks movie where this guy is based on a true story, was trapped in an airport somewhere for like
Isn't
years.
isn't that like him being trapped on an island?
Tom Hanks has been trapped everywhere. He's been trapped on an island, trapped in an airport, trapped in an autistic body. Uh, he's been
I
everywhere.
don't think he's been Rain Man, Simon.
He was Forrest Gump.
Oh, right.
Come on.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, so basically, we
yeah,
end up getting some reinforcement, some compensation
yeah.
for our, another night in London, and they give us like which hotel were we in?
I forgot. It was.
Like,
Don't dox ourselves now. We ain't got to do all
oh,
that.
okay.
You don't need to tell everybody everything. But I just remember, like when we made it to the hotel, like the Indians were running everything. Like the
Yeah.
Indians were there, and I got no problem with the Indians at all. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. But I just remember we watched that movie, Desert Rose, and there was like an Indian woman who ran that hotel as well. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it seems like in the UK, like that's one of the businesses the Indians run. I think it might be very similar to like the US. You know, the Indians are in hotels and also in like convenience stores. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's their sector, you know? But
Yeah. No, there was definitely like a lot of, Indians running everything,
yeah.
even at the airport. And yeah, so we basically, we had one day and we got to like go downtown London.
Yeah.
We saw like the Big Ben, the what was that? The Ferris wheel.
Yeah, the eye.
Yeah, the London Eye. We just like it was so cold. Like
Yeah.
when you go outside, your face would burn because of the cold. It was like that
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
-2 degrees with the sun out,
I
basically.
gotta say, like when I was talking to the British people, like the people that were the easiest to understand, in my opinion, were like the Indians though. Like they spoke the clearest English. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I mean they didn't have a like deep Indian accent or anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But the British people with the regular accents, I was like, huh? Huh? What? Sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes. But I got to say this. Nathaniel Blackwood says it's a Spielberg joint. He lived in the airport for years. Tell us the name of that Tom Hanks movie, man, because I know it exists. Because there's this like famous scene of Tom Hanks ordering like a Big Mac at the airport, and maybe it's like the first thing he got to eat in 6 months or something. I don't know. Nathaniel Blackwood says, I was going to drop a vampire film, but I can suggest a great joint with Donald Glover. We'll put it in the comments, man. We can review a Donald Glover joint.
and
Maybe
tell,
it's
tell them both. Because we have a list and we will review it. Maybe after February, because we're doing black movies,
yeah, well, Black History movies, not just black.
Black history. Yes,
We're
sorry.
not just watching Tyler Perry joints. No, no Medea. But what were we saying? Like another thing that shocked me about the UK was just like how black it was, man. Because I was really like, it was hella black. And being here in Budapest, every time I see a black person, it's always this, "What up, bro?" Or like I give them a dap. You know what I mean? We pound it up. In the UK, Akdi, you remember? I was standing outside in the airport, and this black guy saw me, and I saw him, and I gave him a head nod, and he looked at me crazy. He said, "Nigga, who the fuck is you?" You remember that?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a multinational, multiracial country.
Yeah, yeah,
Especially like where we were staying near the airport. I think there were a lot of like immigrant
mm,
background families there. A lot
yeah.
of black people, also a lot of Indians, just like,
Hmm.
yeah, but I liked that it was diverse because I could tell like you were also more comfortable. And yeah, like I think London is cool like to visit. I don't know if I can live there because it's so freaking cold during the winter, and plus it's so expensive. Like,
Yeah,
if I live there I have to have like a good salary.
yeah. I think, and this is just from that one day though. I feel like the UK would be more survivable off a smaller salary than the US is survivable off a smaller salary. And I just, from my understanding, or at least from what I saw, like I saw a few places where it's like, okay, I could get a sandwich here for like $4, or like I could do this and that for like a smaller amount of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I feel like in the US, like everything was so expensive, but we're gonna jump to that part of the story. Like when we
But
make it to the US, man, everything just jumped up in price a lot.
I have to ask, like, is there a price difference between like Louisiana and, for example, New York?
Hell yeah. Oh
Okay,
hell
so
yeah.
that's the thing. Like London, we went to London. We went to the biggest city in in England, and then we went to like Louisiana, Monroe, or
Mhm.
Dallas. I don't know. Would there be a price difference between Dallas and New York?
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
So
yeah.
that's the thing. Like we went to the most expensive city in England.
That's true. That's very true. Very, very true. But I still think it would be survivable. Like I could imagine myself making it work, and maybe it wouldn't be the best, but I could imagine making it work more in London than I could in like New York. You know what I mean? At
Yeah,
least at my stage in life right now. Like if it came to something else, like if I get a better job, then of course it would be easier in both places. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think in general, wherever a country is more expensive in general, then the wages are, higher.
Yeah. The
So,
opportunities are more.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it would be hard to be an English teacher in London or in America.
It would, it would. But going to Nathaniel Blackwood, he said Bram Stoker's Dracula by FFC. I didn't know Coppola did Dracula. That's interesting. I didn't know that existed. So that might be a good one. But Black History film To Sleep with Anger. Okay, we definitely might do that because I just like the title To Sleep with Anger. That's hard. That's a that's a dope name for like a heavy metal album by like an all black band.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that. Let's do that.
Yeah, that's dope. Thank you for that suggestion. Thank you, Nathaniel Blackwood. But yeah, I enjoyed the UK. Very, very cold. That was a bitter cold. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
was extreme.
It was just a bit hard because like we were wearing the same clothes for 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah,
Because our luggage was stuck at the airport.
yeah,
So it wasn't like a relaxed, trip
yeah.
in that sense. And also, we were wondering, like, every day we stayed there, we had to spend money, and,
Hmm.
things were expensive and stuff like that. So it was fun. Like, I would love to travel again for pleasure.
Yeah. I can just say though one last thing before we go to the US. I think I ate the best pastry I ever ate in my life in London. You remember that place
Oh,
that
the
we
cinnamon
went to?
buns.
Yeah, that cinnamon bun type thing. That
Yeah,
shit was, bruh. That's now that I'm thinking about it, that was an excellent fucking. I forgot the name of the place and I didn't record it when we went there because I was recording all that day. But that pastry and I forgot the name, but I know exactly where it is. It's like in that main street near downtown London, city of London. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
that was
No, it
fire.
was good. Like, it was so buttery
Yeah,
and so soft, so cinnamony.
yeah,
It was really good.
yeah. And if I were a passport bro, I, London would be the only city. If I were a passport bro, that's all I'm saying.
Oh, you like them English gals?
There was a lot of a lot of fish in the sea. I'm just saying.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know this when we were there that Simon was checking out all the girls
I
next to me.
was I
Great.
was not checking out all the girls.
I can see that from your comments now.
Anyway, are you mad?
Yes.
Don't be mad. You can get back at me by talking about guys you see. It's okay. I'm not
Yes, because I saw great guys
okay.
in our trip.
Nathaniel Blackwood says, I like them poor. Okay. All right. So on to Dallas, right? So we're able to finally like squeeze on to like one of the last remaining American Airlines flights to Dallas after quite a few of them got canceled because of bad weather. And luckily we flew on the American Airlines flight that didn't crash in the past 3 weeks. 'Cause it seems like all of them are flying into helicopters and into each other. And so, yeah, we land in Dallas. My mom is there, my aunt is there, and then we go to my cousin's house. And what was your impressions when made it through immigration and you were looking outside the window and seeing Texas?
uh, I was surprised by the lot of like national sentiments around the airport, especially during the passport line.
Uh huh.
Was kind of weird because they had like all these pictures of great American
Yeah.
workers and laborers, like
Yeah.
farmers and the cowboys and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And yeah, it was a bit weird, like coming there as a, because in most places, like you see advertisements of the country and not really like nationalistic things. I would say, like
Hmm.
go to this beach or go to that island and stuff,
Hmm.
or try
Hmm.
this food, like company advertisements.
Yeah.
that was like something that caught my eye. And then when we, finally saw your mom and stuff, I was so happy. I got to see Simon's mom for the first time, and I already met his aunt before in Istanbul. But it was a lot of fun. We were also a bit tired, and
Yeah,
we
stinky.
like did a 12-hour flight.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went to Papacitos, which was fire.
Yeah. Mexican restaurant. I think it's a chain in Texas, maybe in the Dallas, Fort Worth, maybe also in Houston as well.
I mean,
Papacitos.
yeah, low key, that was one of the best meals that we had.
Yeah.
A lie. That was
Yeah.
good. And I'm Turkish, so I appreciate meat. And we
Mm.
like ordered this big platter of meat. Like they had, ribs and shrimp and chicken and that sort of thing.
Surf and turf.
Surf and turf, yeah. And it was cooked like to perfection.
Mm.
And you had like, beans and salsa and guac and all these different sort of things. It was really good. I really liked that.
Yeah. Were you surprised by the portions? Because you've been to America before, but down south, I feel like we eat different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the first time I came to America, I was so shocked by the size of the pizza.
Wow.
It was like huge. Like one slice was equivalent of one full pizza in Turkey,
Yeah.
But this time I was shocked at like the drink sizes because I
Yeah.
was like, I ordered margarita, sangria, something like frozen slushy alcoholic drink.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I can have a little cocktail. And then they bring me like a bucket of margarita. This big, and I'm like, oh shit. Like, I'm about to be so drunk. I just
Yeah.
met Simon's mom. I don't know. I hope like I don't fall and like, smash my
Yeah.
face to the ground.
No, that's what the large drink sizes, because like a small in the US drink size is like a big anywhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I actually kind of like that though, because you get
I mean,
more for your buck for the
they didn't
drinks.
even have the sizes though. Like, you couldn't even order a big margarita, a small margarita. They just bring you a bucket. Like this, literally, you have to hold it with two hands in order to, like, so it was
the
insane.
the way we eat in America and drink as well, it's like it's enough calories to like power an entire like NFL starting lineup. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everybody eats so many calories as if they're about to run a full on marathon the next day.
Yeah.
Like
It's like
it's insane.
when we were at Papacitos, I already got my daily calorie intake with the starter and the drink.
Yeah,
And then like we didn't even have the main course yet.
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of I had a bit of reverse culture shock seeing that too. But I also had, reverse culture shock by coming back home and realizing the prices for everything. You know what I mean? Because I was looking at the menu and I was seeing like three enchiladas were now like $30 or something. And that really shocked me. Like I'm probably gonna talk about this a lot during the video, but just seeing the way prices have gone up. Because the last time I was in America was in 2020, and from what I remember, $100 still went far, and it's now like $100 feeds two people going out to eat minimum. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I can remember a time when you could take somebody out $20, $30, man. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
have a decent meal. Of course, it's not Michelin 5 star, but it's still good. So yeah,
That,
man, that was
like
shocking.
it felt like going out to dinner was was like a luxury.
Yeah, but there was still a lot of people out because we walked into Papacitos, it was crowded. So it's crazy. I guess the economy has gone to the point where maybe people are making more money, but also, things have gone up with it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, cuz it's like, I can't imagine, which is what also we were doing as well, like taking out your family for a dinner, let
mm,
alone just a date. If
hmm
you have kids, like, okay, you have your, wife, that's two adults, and then let's say you have two kids, that's like four people that ordering. And I
wow,
feel like that would not be like below 100.
150
Yeah.
minimum for kids eating and all that sort of stuff, man. It's crazy, really
Yeah.
crazy. And I was also shocked, when we went to Dallas, just like the sprawl, you know what I mean? Just like the sheer size of the city, and like how there's like highways on top of highways on top of highways, crisscrossing over each other. in the sky. You know what I mean? And seeing these, big box stores that we're just passing by on the highway, a huge mega Target, huge shopping plazas, stuff like that. It really just took me back like, damn, like this is what we think is normal. Like it's normal to drive 30 minutes to go to your grocery store. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's
It was
normal. Yeah, go
yeah.
ahead, go ahead.
It was definitely like enormous. Like the amount of driving we did the first
Mm,
day, even just to
yeah,
go to like Papacitos, we were driving maybe like 40 minutes from the airport to the
yeah,
place. And yeah, I mean, I'm not used to like seeing those big like basically plazas that have like restaurants, like fast food, and also like Target and stuff like that.
yeah,
So that was definitely. I don't think that was something I saw like when I first came here. I mean,
yeah,
not to that extent. Of course, I saw like drive-throughs when we were driving, like I don't know, from Portland to San Francisco and stuff. But
yeah.
it wasn't like that, like how it is in Texas, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it was it I don't even know the words to say it, because like here in Europe you can find like those outlet malls where they have a major store with like the smaller chains around it and a huge parking lot and a drive through in the front, like the American style. Like that's getting exported to other countries, right? But
Mhm.
even still, like they countries might have like one or two of those, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
in Dallas it was like hundreds of those going on every few miles. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
that's how the city is laid out. You have houses and suburbs built around those large shopping malls where everybody drives to, shops, and goes back home. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So,
And I don't know, like at least in Turkey, like those type of big plazas with the huge stores and stuff, they are kind of for like either businesses or big families to just like go there and buy things in bulk and
hmm,
then like come back maybe once a month, you know? And
yeah,
they're kind of like a bit outside of the city,
hmm,
not like a grocery store that you go to every day.
yeah.
I feel like for like the people who live in Texas, they have to go to those big plazas, almost every day.
Right.
Something.
Well, let's keep on talking about Dallas. So, like, just jumping towards like the end of our trip, we end up coming back to Dallas and like staying with my cousin's house and stuff like that, which we stayed in like the first night we got there too. And it's a lovely house, and it's one of those, it's one of those like copy paste McMansions that you find in the suburbs, right? You drive into this little area, and all the houses sort of like look alike except for like minor changes, but you walk inside, it's hella spacious. You got a garage, you got a backyard. The only problem is like you're next to the highway, so you hear the cars whizzing by and stuff like that. But that's one of the benefits, I guess, of living in Texas, right? You get a fucking mega McMansion, right, for like 300K, 400K. You know what I mean? Like that. If that's the lifestyle you like, then you can live like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, then we end up going to like downtown Dallas. And downtown Dallas is very different than the sprawl of like suburban Dallas. And it was like huge, mega, skyscrapers where you can see the place where like JFK got shot and the grassy knoll and where the shooter was from. And like the buildings are like the size of one city block. And there's like cool art down there and stuff like that, but it's still just mega expansive. What did you think about any of those things?
Yeah, I mean, I liked downtown Dallas. It was still very huge. Like, you wouldn't be able to walk on a daily basis. Like, you would
Yeah,
still need a car to get around and stuff. But I liked it. Like, I liked the nightlife. That was definitely one of the like best parts of overall, like in general, in our trip in America. And I know you missed it as well
yeah,
because
definitely.
of like the good music.
Yeah,
And yeah, like it was cool, and we went to like the neighborhood there. That was
yeah,
pretty fun. And it's fun to have actually a neighborhood that's is dedicated to like homosexual people
because
and
that's
like
that's
LGBT
not that's
youth
not
as well.
common in Turkey.
Yeah, of course. We
Yeah,
don't even have gay clubs in Turkey. I
I
mean,
think I think it's
they're
not
probably.
even like that here in Budapest too. I mean, yeah, there is like underground gay clubs, but it's not like a whole open neighborhood, even in Budapest.
Yeah, I mean, I
That was
think.
hot, by the way.
Huh?
That was hot, by the way.
How was that hot? No, can't help it. Anyway, I'm sick. Don't make fun of me.
Go ahead.
Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, even in Budapest, it's like, you have your gay clubs, but there's no like sign that says, "Hey, this is a gay club."
Hmm.
They're like a kind of secret, but like everybody knows it's a gay club, but it's not out there. But
Hmm.
like the neighborhood in Dallas, it was like all, pride flags everywhere.
Hmm.
And the people, like, as soon as you get into the neighborhood at night, you just see like all types of people wearing like crazy fashion, and
Hmm.
it's so much fun, and everyone seems like relaxed.
Hmm.
It was very relaxing for me, like, and fun, because when you're in the neighborhood as a woman, you don't have to worry about like men groping you and stuff like
Okay. You just
that.
get worried about a man calling you bitch that you don't know.
I'm fine with that. Anyway,
He's like, work it, bitch, across the street.
yeah, that's encouragement. That's not an insult.
Okay.
Anyway, that was definitely fun. But what did you think about our neighborhood experience?
I like the neighborhood. We went there with my brother, right? So that was interesting because, like, I don't speak about this often, not because like I'm ashamed of my brother or anything like that, but because like I don't want to use my brother like, hey, I can't be homophobic. I have a gay brother. You know what I mean? Like, I don't talk about my brother's sexuality a lot on my channel, but it was good to see him like, and this sounds bad, but like in a more natural environment, I guess. And
Mm-hmm.
like for me to be like the odd one out because like I was the only like straight cisgendered male there with you, my cousin who's a female, and my brother, right?
Yeah.
And so, I like that I had the opportunity to see it from the other lens. You know what I mean? Because gay people and women have to live in a straight cisgendered world. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
everything got subverted. And yeah, the music in the neighborhood was fire because we went to this one club and they were playing all the hits, like all the hits that we love, like Say My Name, you know what I mean? Lil Kim, Nicki Minaj, you know what I mean? They were going in on the DJ
Yeah.
sets. And they were giving out free shots too. I opened up my mouth, man in high heels just poured a fucking vodka shot in my mouth. I was like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, that was one too many tequila shots that night.
Oh man,
I,
oh man.
I was like done.
And the crazy thing is, I was out with my cousin who was older than me, and I was expecting her to be like, "All right, we gotta chill. I got work tomorrow. It's 11 p.m. Guys, y'all ready to go?" This bitch was going in. Oh my gosh, he killed me. I was like, "Whoa, whoa, where does this come from?" She's like, "Nah, bitch, we in here for real. We outside." I
Yeah.
said, "No, I'm not outside."
Yeah, you were on some like grandpa shit, and she was like ready to turn up. Honestly, I was ready to turn up because I was like, what, when else am I gonna like come to Dallas and get to party? You know, flew 12 hours for this, and we're about to fly it again tomorrow. So like,
Yeah.
let's turn the fuck up. And I have to say, like, she's great. I love her. She's hilarious. And just like overall, I feel like every member of your family is hilarious. Like, I was just like listening to all of your conversations, and I was just like smiling and laughing like by myself, just like watching you guys, and it was just hilarious. Like, all the jokes that was going around, and everyone is like so smart. I really loved being around your family.
Mm. Now you know where I get it from. How I'm fucked up.
No, there was nothing fucked up about your family, so you better.
Okay. All right. All right. But yeah, Dallas was cool. So I'm gonna ask you this one question. All right. If you had to live in Dallas for let's say 2 years, do you pick downtown Dallas or the neighborhood
I picked downtown Dallas.
over the neighborhood?
Yeah, I'm not trying to deal with all that mess every night.
But it's a regular neighborhood. It's not always party time.
I mean, I feel like, I feel like you saw one gay guy just throw up in the dumpster and then get up and walk sashayed away.
Yeah, and like he kicked up his heels, like throwing over in the dumpster, like, oh, it was very stylish.
Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to deal with all the puke and all that,
Mhm.
every week. So
Yeah.
downtown Dallas for sure. Though I would like frequently go to neighborhood. Like every time possibly I want to go outside to like dance and stuff, I would probably go to the neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah. Another thing I was impressed to. Oh, by the way, I would pick downtown Dallas too. I picked downtown Dallas because it actually parts of it reminded me of like Chicago. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
how it looked and stuff. And I'm sure it's kind of nice in the spring and in the fall too. And they probably have like cool events that go
Mhm.
downtown. So
Mhm.
I'd pick downtown. But another thing I was impressed with in Dallas is that they do have like a public transport system that seems to mostly be focused downtown because they have like a train that runs through there, like a metro type system, like a little tram, like what we have in Budapest. And they probably have like a very extensive bus network too. But yeah, it's shocking to me that in the richest country in the world, we have a city of like 5 million people like Dallas that doesn't have a subway system. You know what I mean? And I could understand like LA not having a subway system because LA has earthquakes and stuff like that. But Dallas ain't no earthquakes happening in Texas, you know what I mean? So in any other country in the world, like that city would be metro the fuck out. But it's America where it's all about the cars.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe because already a lot of people have cars, and of course there would be some people who use a public transportation. Maybe it's enough for the people who use it. Plus, it
Mm-hmm.
like takes a long time and a lot of money to build a subway system.
Yeah, ish, kind of. I
Yeah,
mean,
but they have the trams and the bus, and most people have cars. So
yeah,
you know,
large cars too,
yeah,
giant monster trucks.
kind of intimidating. Like it's like when you stand next to it, I'm as big as the wheel.
Yeah, yeah. But let's jump ahead now and let's talk about. We're going to skip over Monroe a bit and just jump straight to New Orleans, right? So we went to New Orleans on a weekend for about 2 days, right? And this was right before like a major snowstorm hit New Orleans, like earlier this year too. And it was only like a few weeks after there was like a terrorist attack on Bourbon Street. So we make it down there, and for me, going to New Orleans is like very nostalgic because I spent like 4 years in university there. My parents went to university there and met. And I also have just memories of going there like plenty of times, before the Hurricane Katrina happened and stuff like that. So yeah, like New Orleans is like a special place for me. And going back, seeing it, it made me realize like I live in Louisiana. I live in the equivalent of like Estergom, and New Orleans is Budapest.
Yeah.
Like New Orleans is like the only city worth living in in Louisiana. You get what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
yeah, that's how I felt generally. There's more to say, but what did you think about it when we made it there?
I mean, I loved New Orleans. Obviously, there was like some anxiety that I had because of like the recent attack, and I had this anxiety overall everywhere. By the way,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't special to New Orleans. Um, but yeah, just basically because of that event that happened, I guess like it was heightened.
Mm-hmm.
And but overall, I liked it because it was walkable to an extent, and we took the train to your school, which was good. But I feel like the trains and the public transport felt like a bit, like it's like you would wait for a train and then it wouldn't come,
Yeah.
and you would have to wait for 30 minutes, which is
Yeah.
kind of something that happened to us, and then we decided to walk one time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's a bit lacking in
Yeah.
terms of like frequency and stuff.
Yeah.
But other than that, like the whole, the historic neighborhood, the French Quarter and stuff, it's very pretty, very artsy. I love the vibe, and you can definitely like. For me, it feels definitely a lot of fun. Like I could stay there for a week and go to all these different places.
Yeah.
There they are, like art clubs or different music places that they have. It would have been like nice to just stay there. I know we didn't have that much time.
Mm.
Yeah, I definitely like the whole vibe of the city.
Yeah, New Orleans is special for the party scene that it does provide. That is generally like allows you to experience different types of music for free, which is so hard to do. Because like when we were in Dallas, we went to this club. We paid $10 each to get in, and it was like, damn, we don't want to leave because we paid to stay here. We're sort of like captives now. But like going down Bourbon Street, you can literally walk into a place, see a live jazz band. The next place has a live rock band. The next place is playing like hip hop. The next place is playing country. We went to like that restaurant with the dueling pianos, and all the white folks are losing their minds singing "Sweet Caroline." Bum
Oh,
bum bum.
oh.
They were in that bitch tearing it up like the Wu Tang Clan was on stage. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. So like, yeah, like that's so unique about New Orleans. And yeah, not many cities can come close to its culture. Like literally there was music everywhere. Like we went to like this place where there was just water, like people were sitting by the water, and the guy was there, jamming out, playing blues guitar for the people. You know what I mean? Like it's a special city.
By
Very
the way, that was hilarious because the guy was playing guitar and then it started to rain and the guy started talking into his microphone saying like, "Oh shit, I guess you're all leaving now. What the hell am I supposed to do now? Oh shit." Like, it was hilarious. Like, the people I think also in New Orleans have like a distinct like vibe
Yeah.
where you can see like they like to have fun and they seem
Mm,
relaxed overall. And yeah, like the Bourbon Street experience for me, we went there like the first time we went there it was a bit early.
yeah.
The second time we went there it was at night. So both times were, fun. It
Yeah.
was expensive still.
Yeah.
But like, if you get a huge daiquiri that's the size of your head,
Yeah.
you can probably last it could last you all night, but like you can't go to other places with the daiquiri in your hand.
Wait, wait, wait. On Bourbon, you went to a strip club for the first time.
Yeah.
So what was your experience like going to the strip club?
It was good. Like it wasn't like I don't know what I even expected because I only saw strip clubs from the movies and I knew it wasn't gonna be like in the movies,
Hmm.
but it was not like I wasn't like disappointed or anything.
Yeah.
And you kind of scared me like, are you ready to see C sections and all that stuff? And like I didn't see any C sections.
uh,
But yeah, like it was fun.
mm.
I
Yeah,
was
no, that was
a little bit like by the girls.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, they were doing some of the stuff that I was glad to like for you to see in person, like climbing on top of the pole, like dropping it down. You know what I mean? Like the tricks
Yeah,
and stuff like that. It's a unique American art form. The unique
yeah,
American art form. Artist driven.
yeah. I don't know. Like it was a bit empty when we went there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that made it awkward for me because I didn't really know what to do with myself. Because
You're
it's
supposed
like,
to watch.
yeah, I know, but like it's like I'm watching and it's nice. Of course, it's like an art form and stuff, but at the same time, it's like I'm not really that into it because they're
Yeah,
like girls shaking their booties.
yeah.
Like I would be more into it if there were guys, if that makes
Oh
sense. If
yeah,
that
we don't
makes sense.
want
Wow.
that.
Okay. I am going to Chocolate City.
No, you ain't going to chocolate nothing. You going to chocolate church.
Anyway, but I'm glad I got to experience that.
Yeah,
Like get it out of my system.
yeah. I'm not a strip club aficionado. Like I'm not a big fan. You know what I mean? But it was good to go just to see it again. You know what I mean?
Just to see some booty.
Yeah, just to see some booty. But I mean, it was okay. It was all right. I had more fun going to my old college, right, and reminiscing, and then going to my favorite bar, the Boot.
That
Man,
was
we went to
yeah.
that was great. Now that was fun. That was fun, man, because that was the last place that ex- I shouldn't have been surprised, but I was actually surprised that drinks were still cheap. The music was still generally good. The layout and the vibe had not changed at all. There's like awkward teens there. And like just like kids that look too grown to be in school. You know what I mean? The only thing that surprised me was like there was like less black people. Like I remember going to university and being like a lot of niggas went to Tulane and Loyola, but I went there and it was like all crackified. It was all crackified. I was so shocked to see that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I mean, when we first went there, I got so excited because they had like this jug of beer for very
Mm,
cheap.
Hmm.
But then it was like a happy hour thing, and then they banished it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I liked the place. It was just fun. It was chill, very chill.
Very chill. Very chill.
Yeah, I like those type of student places because students are just generally chill, and
Yeah.
generally it's cheap.
Generally, yeah. Then also while we were in New Orleans, like we came a few weeks before the start of Mardi Gras, but we also went to like Mardi Gras World, and we were like, the lady was like explaining how they make the floats for Mardi Gras and like the history of Mardi Gras and stuff like that. And I had never gone to a place like that before, where she was explaining it too. So that was interesting for me to like learn about that and see all that go down. Any comments on that?
Yeah, I was surprised like how big of an industry it was. Like it's
Hmm.
not just New Orleans that they do this stuff for. It's for, different companies that have characters maybe or want that sort of decoration in their, stores and stuff, and for Disneyland and that sort of thing. And yeah, it was fascinating to see also the sculptures because you can go to into the warehouse and you see all these like past sculptures that they did.
Hmm.
It's a lot of work. It's like
Yeah.
art. So yeah, that was fun.
It was. It was. So, yeah. All right. Last question about New Orleans. Okay. If you had to, if you had to live in New Orleans, right? What job do you think you would want?
Stripping.
No, don't say
I'm joking. I'm joking.
that.
No,
Don't say that.
I mean, are we talking realistically or like if I can choose any job?
You could choose any job.
Okay. I mean, if I could choose any job, I would like to be like in the art scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like since I'm also a psychologist as well, maybe like
Mm-hmm.
art therapy, something like that.
Okay.
I think people might be interested in that there. So yeah, something to do like that. Something
Yeah.
like that. What about you?
If I could do that, if I could live in New Orleans,
Mm-hmm.
mm, I don't even know what job I would want to have because everything is sort of like related to like tourism and stuff like that. And I'm
Yeah.
not like, I don't want to be in the tourist industry. I don't know. Maybe a streetcar operator. I'm gonna be a streetcar operator, but the most outlandish streetcar operator. Like I'm like cursing at my like passengers and stuff and like
But like a theme
playing me,
one.
huh?
Like how I think that was in Dallas too, like how that restaurant where the waiters are like mean purposefully.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's kind of like that, like you're the special
yeah.
car
But
driver that's mean to
but
everyone.
like I'm in my streetcar just like playing like Juvenile and like BG on full blast and like yelling at people like, "Hey, y'all better back that ass up." Y'all better- you know what I'm saying?
Well, we
So
would make a weird couple for
yeah,
sure.
very weird couple, and I'd probably be fired by the next day. All right. So last thing that we'll talk about is small town South, because like we went to major Dallas, cultural New Orleans, and now small town South, which is like the vast majority of the South. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
City of 50,000 people, Monroe, Louisiana, my home. Wasn't the place I was born, but it's the place. The only place I know is like home, like memories and stuff. And so yeah, going back from Monroe for me, it was like, oh shit, and it was like yeah, a lot of bad memories, some good memories as well. Um, the city hasn't changed that much, but there are slight changes that make me worry about the future. You know what I mean? And yeah, I was just shocked to see that, uh, I guess like in my section, there's a lot of development, but like on the south side of the section, where like a lot of poor black folks stay, it's like getting worse. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
my mom works for the city, and they're closing down one of those offices on the south side, and like all the money for development is going towards the north side and stuff like that. Some development in downtown Monroe as well, but that's technically on the north side as well too. And yeah, I was just shocked to see that it's still very, like car centric. It's like Dallas but lighter. You know what I mean? It's you have
Yeah.
to drive everywhere, but it's still sprawl. So what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really know what to expect because like the town I went to, like Salem, right? It was kind of like a small town too. So I was expecting something similar, but then you also talked a lot of shit about Monroe. So I was like, okay,
It is. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going into. But I honestly think it wasn't that bad. Like, cuz there were things to do, even though like we didn't do all of them. Like we went to the museums, the African Heritage Museum, the Coca-Cola Museum, we went to the levee, um and yeah, like you can bike around. The hardest thing for me was that you cannot like walk anywhere. So basically, if your mom is not here to drive us or whoever, then we can't really go anywhere that far.
Mm.
Because yeah, we would have to bike, and we can do that, but there are only so many places you can bike to.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that was like the biggest problem for me because I couldn't just go out and explore,
Mhm.
further away places. But yeah, and there isn't like a lot of, nightlife, I would say, or like the entertainment type of things. But we did
Yeah.
downtown one night with your friend Will, and we went to that like, old man place. A
What,
bit,
the Chateau Rouge?
no, before that, like we
Oh,
went,
that was just like a little bar. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
like a little bar, which was like it was. I thought it was nice, but it was very like, quiet and chill, kind of sleepy.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of sleepy. I think, it's interesting because I just remember growing up in Monroe, like there were places like young folks could go and party, and like they were playing like the new music and that new ish. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I really wanted to go back and be in that scene, not because like I want to chase young, but I want to hear what people are hearing because that's how we used to like pick up on new music and find out who's hot, who's not. You know what I mean? And especially after being in Budapest where all the music sucks
Yeah.
tonight. Give me everything tonight. Like, what is that, bro? Like,
I
what's that?
mean, there was one place where, your friend said that a lot of young people go to, but he didn't recommend it there. And
Yeah,
sort of like every time we asked about that place to someone, I forgot, like, was it Vibes or something?
yeah, yeah.
But everyone said like, "Oh, don't go there. It's just like young people. It's kind of trashy and stuff." And they didn't really recommended it, so we ended up going to like this kind of like off the grid place,
Mhm.
Chateau Rouge,
Yeah, yeah,
and that was like basically a person's house where they host musicians and you can have drinks and you just listen to live music.
yeah.
That was very dope. I
That
really,
was very dope.
I mean, the population was very, you know, plus 30.
Actually, you have to stop saying it like this as if you're not a part of this crowd now. You still are like thinking like you're like, oh, I'm 18, I'm 19. Like you are
I'm
up there now.
6, okay? And plus, there's nothing wrong with me feeling young and feeling, like I still got it because I do.
You still do got it. I'm not saying you don't got it. You got it. I'm just saying you have to stop being like everybody was like 30, and like as a 26-year-old, like I don't, I can't fit in
Okay.
with these people.
Most
Like,
people were like 40. Let's
and they
get
were not.
and like our group, which is like 30 somethings and me.
Stop doing that. You gotta stop. We have to start rounding up for you because you're 30. You are 30 by
But
default.
how is that rounding? 26 is not 30.
You are
Please
30 by default by being with me and also with
look,
the people that
look,
you be
look,
around.
look, look. I have no problem with getting old. I would love myself when I'm 30, but I'm just not right now. And that's it. Anyway, I didn't have any problems with that. I very much liked it. Old people got it going. They were dancing. They were on stage. We heard the Dream Girls. But yeah, they were bringing it, and the body was body outting. I thought everyone had BBLs, and I asked Simon, and Simon was like, "That's just cornbread." I was like, "Oh my god, that's insanely good."
Yeah.
Anyway, I had a lot of fun that night as well.
No, me too, because I was glad to see that. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't remember places like that being open when I was coming up in Monroe, like live music and stuff like that. We never had that, so it was good to see that. Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. But I was also like surprised people were telling us not to go to vibes. because anywhere where like young black folks hang out, people always say that's my place to go. And yeah, they be fighting and they be shooting there. You know what I mean? It's always the same. Like in America, anywhere black folks are, they say that's the dangerous part. And anywhere white folks are, they never mention it because it's top secret. It's Illuminati.
Wow, but I feel like someone said there was an incident like last month there or something like
Yeah.
that. So
I
yeah,
mean, in the country, everybody be shooting. So, you know, like, I mean, going back home, like, it was definitely a different sort of awareness than what we have now in Budapest. Like, going out, like, we went out last night, we weren't, like, looking over our shoulders, checking the door, stuff like that. But, like, in America, you got to have that awareness on you. And, like, getting pat down and stuff, walking into buildings, like, that's, like, getting used to that normal again. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I mean that was one of the hardest things for me because we've like we've talked about, especially you during that time, like you were covering all the mass shootings in America every day and stuff. So I feel like that really affected me, which is not like I'm not saying it's a bad thing because those things actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
They are to be scared of and to be worried about. So, I had that anxiety going in and I had it while we were there. And it's not like, it ruined my trip. It didn't ruin my trip. But at the same time, when I'm having a good time, just remembering that and it comes to you and you have to like, just check around you and stuff.
Yeah.
And sort of like, or it had me like imagining what it could be. Like
Yeah.
I imagine like, oh, what if a guy comes in right now and shoots everyone? How would I escape? Or
Yeah.
if I die, what would happen to my family and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
What would happen to you and all that stuff? Like, occupying your head when you're just out at night trying to
Mm-hmm.
listen to live music and stuff. It's kind of like, uncomfortable. And
Yeah.
it's uncomfortable, especially for me, because I'm not used to thinking about that.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the reality that we live with in America, you know? Like, we don't even be checking the door, checking over our shoulder. It's just like, it is what it is. And that it either it is what it is or it will never happen to me. That happens to other people, but it won't happen to me. You know what I mean? That's just how we think about it.
I don't know, like, even though we are back here in Budapest, I still worry about, like, your parents or your brother or your
Yeah.
cousin or all of your friends there.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, they're living in that reality, and it's a bit scary for me for them.
I
Maybe they
work.
feel as scared as I do, but yeah.
No, I worry about them too because yeah, basically everybody in my family's got guns. You know what I mean? My dad, my brother probably does. You know, we're talking to my female cousin. She's saying, "Yeah, I need to get one." You know what I mean? Because I just got a house. So like that's a part of the culture there, and it's like there's no use in trying to like convince them otherwise. But now you know how I feel because I've always been worried about them. I might not have told you that, but it's always something I do think about too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
I've been worrying about this before I even met you because I remember when I was living in Tunisia, my mom would hear about some bombing that happened in the other side of the country and say, Simon, are you okay? Meanwhile, there was like a shooting that happened 3 blocks away from where she is. And, you know, I would be crazy to ask her if she's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it was scary because, like, they were also talking about, oh, like, there's this, group of white men who, like, marched the street,
Mhm.
like the KKK or something.
Yeah.
Like, those sorts of things happening in their town. It's very scary.
I know in Monroe, Louisiana, we still have people that dress up like the Confederate soldiers, the people who wanted to keep people in slavery, and they dress up like them and march in their honor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like literal Nazis. We have literal Nazis and fascists, you know, marching the streets. And like, yeah, going back to America, just seeing the headlines, you know, like a normal headline that not a lot of people heard about or cared about. ABC News: 7 police officers shot. You know what I mean? And like, hearing about everything Trump was doing on the news, like, you know, breaking into like Mexican houses and like deporting babies in diapers. You know, like it
Yeah.
was crazy headlines, and it was just surreal to be back and be like, you know, this is normal. This is normal in America. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I I was asking everyone, like, do you like living here? Like, do you plan to go somewhere else? And I felt bad asking that because, like, this is their home. So why would
Hmm.
they leave? But at the same time, like, just, you know, seeing like what type of environment that they're in. Not that it's like bad to live in every day, but it's just, a lot of like this psychological pressure and also fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't help but ask.
Yeah. Yeah, I overheard you ask my mom, like, do you plan on living in Monroe? And she's like, da, 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 da. She started going off on like, like a little tangent and stuff. Like, but yeah, it's people's homes, and like I understand, like I'm fortunate and blessed and privileged to be able to leave and work online, and my parents and other people don't have the same opportunities or didn't have the same opportunities. You know what I mean? And I just wish the best for the country, man, because after going back, it made me really appreciate Budapest when we came back. So after the whole trip was over and I came back and I saw the trains, the tram, the metro, the cheaper prices, the smaller cars, the walkability, I said, oh, no, 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 no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything I ever said that was bad about you, Europe. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely miss Budapest as well. Like, I wasn't like, well, let's get out of here. I wasn't like that. I was definitely enjoying my time there in America as well. But I also felt a relief when we came back as well.
Yeah. Like we made it safe. Like we made it back safe overall. And yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
definitely. Like, even my mom, she was saying, like, don't go any place crowded and stuff like that. And I'm like, Mom, I'm fine.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm glad that we were able to experience that together. And there was a lot that happened on the trip that we didn't talk about in this live stream. But it was still like so much, it was a very, very important trip for me. Like that adventure that we went on was like probably the most like significant when we think about our life story together. You know what I mean? There's the day that I moved to Turkey, there's the day we got married, and there's the day that we went to Monroe, Louisiana, and sort of everything became full. And it's like it's very important in my mind of how I think
Yeah.
about you and me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely like a missing piece
Yeah,
because, like you said, we went to Turkey, we had all that, like, experience with my family. And
yeah,
I definitely, felt like that was something missing, you know. And
yeah.
you know, I'm really glad we went as well. And I
Me
think
too.
I feel like it made our relationship better to an extent because I feel like there we just came together.
Yeah, it was you and me versus my parents.
No, me versus America.
You and me versus America, but we made it out. We did. One
Yeah.
last thing I got to say that I was glad about going to America with was getting some black skincare products. This is not a promotion. This is just cocoa butter. You know what I mean? My wife always tells me I need to moisturize, lotionize, take care of my skin and stuff. But it's not the same being in white ass Europe. You can't find that good cocoa butter. You know what I mean? You can't get this.
Wow.
You know what I mean? You can't get this moisturation out here in Europe with them Caucasians. You feel me? So your boy
Wow.
got shining up a bit.
There are countries in Europe where there are a lot of black people, Simon. I'm
There
gonna get
are,
a moisturizer from the Netherlands or
there are, but I'm
Paris.
sure them niggas ashy. Them niggas ashy, nigga. Anyway, this was a good conversation. I enjoyed talking to you about this, and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Anything else?
no, I feel the same. I'm glad we went to America. I
Yeah,
would like to go like another time just to like see other places. Maybe
yeah,
go to New York, have a trip and stuff like that. Definitely, but yeah, like not for, living
yeah.
just for
America is fun as hell to visit
yeah.
because generally this is where the world culture comes from, because even if we're in Budapest, even if we live our lives in South Africa, even if we move to Tokyo, the music and the movies and the culture that defines the modern world is America. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's for better or worse. you know and yeah, it's fun as hell to visit. And I would love to go to New York, which is one of my favorite cities, Boston. You know what I mean? I would love to visit and see more of my country, but never ever stay. Never stay.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
But yeah, I mean, it seems like we have some future trips, though. Like, there's nothing planned about them. There's just like our dreams. I
Yeah.
guess to go with your family to Mexico, to Belize. Hopefully, we'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
And
Belize will be an adventure. Belize will be something.
yeah, yeah. So looking forward to those things. I wish, like, I wish your family wasn't that far away. Like, I wish America wasn't that far away, but I'm also kind of glad that it's kind of far because it's like, chaotic there. But
Yeah,
I wish
stay over
we
there.
were closer here.
Yeah, yeah. The
Like,
good thing about America is that it's contained.
yeah,
It's
like it's just like over very far away.
it's got a prison on both sides, a big ass ocean here and an even bigger one there.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know, maybe some of the people we saw there, like maybe your parents or your brother or your friends, will
Yeah,
come and visit us here. I would
yeah,
be so interested to like what they think of, Budapest and Europe in general and how they would experience it. I feel like that
yeah.
would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, talking to my brother, he was saying the entire time, I want to live in a city where I don't need a car. I want to live in a place where, it's more liberal and it's more gay friendly. Because like my brother is literally getting married, or he did get married, and congratulations to my brother because of the changing administration and the changing culture and how everything is becoming openly right wing, fascist, and hateful. You know what I mean? Like I feel for him, and I want the best for him because I love him. You know what I mean? And I think he would be happier abroad. You know what I mean? But you know, not everybody had the craziness that I had or the opportunity that I had to do it. So
Yeah. And it's not like I would try to change their minds or anything like that, but it could be a revelation. Like, they could have a trip here and feel like maybe they really like it here or stuff like
yeah,
that. It's not
yeah,
like trying to push them into doing anything, but yeah,
yeah, yeah,
because yeah, every time you travel to a place, it's revelation there.
yeah. I mean,
Shout out,
hunger.
I'm still wearing your jewelries. I love them.
Me too. Shout out to my bro. He iced me up. He iced me up. Earth tones, baby. Earth tones.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, because Budapest is not the best place to be a gay person, right? Because this place is like very homophobic. Like they have it in the Constitution. Marriage is between a man and a woman, and that was a recent, you know,
yeah,
change that they made. So yeah, it's no place is perfect, but no place is as flawed as America. That's the best way
wow,
I can put it. No place is perfect, but nowhere is as messed up as the U.S. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. I mean,
uh,
Budapest is not perfect or even like an ideal place for LGBTQ, but I feel like there are, countries in Europe that are pretty okay,
yeah, yeah.
like Netherlands, like France
Hmm.
and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I think we'll wrap it up here, shall we?
yeah,
All right. Well, shout out to Nathaniel Blackwood for jumping into the live stream earlier and leaving some comments. We're going to try to review that movie, To Sleep with Anger. That will be dope. We are also going to be reviewing When They See Us pretty soon, so y'all stay on the lookout for that. More movie reviews coming soon. I'm going to be finishing up the book, Slave Breeding American Memory by Gregory D. Smithers. I'm going to be starting school soon, so I might be doing less live streams, less uploads because I have a busy school schedule. But I want to give a shout out to everybody who's been watching the content, giving comments, liking, everything like that, and supporting. So y'all be easy out there. Oh, and by the way, go support Cultureless Theory. I just dropped the list for Diddy. Your boy did the Diddy list. Okay, all right. And we got more lists coming soon. Be on the lookout for Queen Latifah. That's dropping on Cultureless Theory. And I'll get and check out the Lenny Kravitz list that's coming soon. I just finished one for Trina. I'm doing one for Trick Daddy right now. So got a lot of content coming for y'all on that side because they pay. They pay for the pen. They pay for the pen.
go check out Backpack Bandits as well. I'm trying to get to the new video. I know we've been uploading slow, But yeah, there will be a new video coming in this upcoming week.
Yeah, so we'll be traveling more soon. So like going to like Croatia and Slovenia because all these places nearby that we ain't explored.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, y'all be easy out there. In peace.